Well, welcome back to the round of 64. Producers have been swapped. I'm praying to God there are no ups, there are no crashes the rest of the night. Spectrum is the worst internet provider in the country, but back to action here. Louisiana, a 5 seed, takes on 12 seed Air Force out of the South region. Tronies, how's it going? We've seen 3 high-level games tonight already. Upsets have been almost bound to happen, but now Air Force the next one at the batting plate to knock off a high seed.
It's been a crazy night to start. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, seeing North Texas almost being eliminated round 1, seeing Radford almost getting eliminated round 1 is absolutely insane. You know, we saw Northeastern, they dropped the first game, but they took care of business from there on out. So it was nice to see that kind of how a match should go, what we expected it to go, but it has been just all over the place tonight.
It's been cinema. I think that's the best way to put it. The Collegiate Cinema Series might just be back in full effect.
Yeah, it might just be hoping that these next matches are a little bit cleaner, but still very, very competitive. Louisiana Air Force should be another really... What's up?
General's about to go crazy.
What?
Byro's yapping.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Well, the players are ready. We'll get to that series later on tonight, but Louisiana Air Force, Jonas players ready. I think it's time we get down in the field for game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Louisiana Air Force, this should be a really solid matchup. The 5-12 matchup. Louisiana, they're the heavy favorites going into it. I mean, this team looked incredible in the conference tournament grand final. They went toe-to-toe with James Madison, took it all the way to 7, just fell short. Juro was absolutely cooking in that matchup. If they play like they did that night, Air Force are in trouble.
That they are. Finally, we don't really have much of a delay for a series starting, and we're back to get underway. Game number 1, 5-seed Louisiana, 12th-seed Air Force. The Falcons have played the tournament twice before. We'll see if they're gold for a win the third time around.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what this Air Force team brings around. Obviously, being in the Mountain West, they've always been that kind of second, third place team. You know, obviously San Diego State runs things around there, but they've always had kind of what seems like a strong rivalry with Washington State for kind of that second place spot in the Mountain West. And now back in the tournament again, they're looking to take advantage. I mean, this is a team, they got through Sacramento State as an 8-seed last season, and then they got through round 1, and then they of course had to go up against the eventual champions of Akron Gold, but they took 2 games off of the Zips, and that's a big save from Jackson.
First minute already almost gone here in the game 1, and Air Force again for me. You mentioned the rivalry with Washington State. I feel like that's perfectly put, and they've had a couple of close semifinal battles through their time in the CCS and the conference tournaments, and Washington State's gotten it better on both times, but again, it feels like maybe that win will come eventually for the Falcons, and their seeding will be slightly better. In the tournament, they can find a way to get to the Mountain West final and beat Washington State, but San Diego State's a whole new beast. But again, they've got one semester left with their 2 current roster before AZAP was left by himself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what SDSU can do in this tournament in particular, as this one almost sails through. Ryan will pick up the save. Juro ends up nudging it a little bit wide. Lost will take it up. Looking for a quick block here to fall to Jackson off the 50. Juro lurking. Jackson was diving for a 50 there. Chowder will escape for a moment, but this one will drop wide. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think this is a good matchup. Louisiana, they are the heavy favorites, as we've already mentioned, but I think Air Force really can compete, and they've struggled with consistency at times and really leveling up against some of those top teams, and Louisiana's definitely towards that top. I mean, last season, they were also a team who made it past round 1. They swept UT Arlington and, proved themselves well deserving of a spot. A lot of people predicted UTA to upset Louisiana. They shut everyone down on that notion, and then they did lose to Wichita State in the next round. But this Louisiana squad is obviously extremely good, and they've been fun to watch.
That they have. They just played JMU to a Game 7 in the Sun Belt Tournament Final, and now Jackson has Chowder in isolation. Couldn't quite find the go-ahead touch, so that one just off the mark as well. The Raging Cajuns is currently attacking, still couldn't put it away. The Falcons defense will hold off.
That was a great bit of pressure from Louisiana, not quite able to take full advantage, but again, just showing that they can have that sort of control, have that sort of pressure. It's got to be threatening if you're Air Force. Now, Another quick takeaway. Chowder, good 50 loss trying to strike. Evan will be back for one touch, finds the clear out for a moment. Orion will turn it back out to the midfield now. Dropping down Evan. Another big touch out. Jackson, no contact made. Orion there for the 50s. Got low boost, fakes out one. Juro still back. Will find the clear away. It's a 3v. No one lost. Can't turn it on target.
Raging Cajuns. Another look gone by the wayside throwing this game one. Still yet to see a goal. It's Chowder. Over one got bumped off. Now the Raging Cajun defense can adjust properly there, but the Falcons still trying to deal. There's the clear that'll save it away.
I mean, it has been an absolute dogfight to start off this matchup. No one been able to break through yet. Lost big demo there. The clear is made. Orion jumps, finds the stop, lost his bum. His shot being off target. Trying to lob it up, find someone through the corner. Backflip now, looking for someone again. Chowder just lurking towards his own net. Evan makes the save, and we've seen both these teams have a good bit of pressure early on, but again, both teams have struggled to find the first. A little bit of miscommunication there for Louisiana. Will be just fine as Jackson will have another shot on, but Chowder able to deal easily.
1 minute to go here in game number one. Jackson caught upfield. Air Force couldn't put it away. That was Orion on an open net and couldn't put goal number one away for the Falcons. Now Juro trying to be the man of the hour here. Couldn't find a chance to strike, and Chowder clearing that one way wide.
Ryan, another good touch away. I mean, Air Force, we're seeing their defense really being put to the test early on. Juro serves up to Lost. Chowder, another save, adding on the fifth already for Air Force. Jackson's got some time, room to work, trying to go under Evan. He finds the 50 off the reset, but no, Chowder still finding a huge save, and the Falcons still in it now. A big counter opportunity. Jackson's got low boost. Chowder, a flick, looking for Orion, trying to play the 50. It's off the crossbar and away.
Downfield, gonna look for the chance here on 0 seconds. Couldn't put that one away either. Lost. Back on target. Orion off the save keeps the Raging Cajuns off the scoring sheets again. Juro, one more kick back to the top of the key. It's killed at overtime.
And what a game one to start things out in this matchup. I mean, another quick OT looking very similar to the start for last matchup, but no one being able to break through in the first 5 minutes is very telling how even this might be. But Evan is going to be the one to do it. A lapse in the Louisiana defense and a solid shot from Evan. Air Force find game one.
And Evan going to put the Falcons on top here. 13 seconds into overtime has number 5 Louisiana going to trail early.
Again, we got another high seed trailing early, Nation. Is that just the story? I know we said the story earlier was anything can happen. Is it just the high seeds that are just struggling today?
Oh, every high seed has won game one. Utah got game one off UNC. Quinnipiac got game one off of Radford. Xavier got game one off of Northeastern. Now Air Force is game one off of Louisiana.
That's pretty incredible. It really is. I mean, we obviously saw last series after Northeastern dropped the first game, they were able to battle back and win the next 4. Louisiana looking to do exactly that, but Air Force, they are threatening.
That they are. It's game 2. Now the Raging Cajuns trying to find their first win of the tournament here in season 5. Is got a rule 1 and now a 2-on-2 here. Is that no rope? It's broken. That was lost, and Chowder all locked up. Back to a 3-on-3 as Jackson's shot broken up by Chowder. Nothing there early on.
Another solid save coming out from Chowder. Had, of course, a ton in that first game. Now looking for even more. Will find himself a nice block here. Got the reset, trying to stay present. Jackson puts it middle. Orion will just have the big clear out. Lost taking his time with the save. Goes towards the corner. Juro immediately ripping it back out to the midfield, but Air Force right back on it. Far post shot. Missing wide. Chowder ends up getting it out to a back pass over to Evan. The defense struggling here for Louisiana. Low boost still saved out front by Juro. Chowder calls off one, looking for the dunk out in front. It's hanging on the goal line, and Orion taps it in. Well set up by Chowder, and Orion there to make it 1-0.
Chowder gonna put the first one in, a 2-0 Falcon run as Louisiana still yet to score.
Yeah, there's really struggling to get their offense going, and Air Force doing well to keep the pressure. And obviously, you know, it took them till overtime to put the first one away last game, but getting something going in the first minute, that's always a good sign for an offense. And Louisiana, we've really just seen them struggle to break through the Falcons defense so far, and now we're seeing more struggle on the defensive side for them. A team bump there. They will be able to recover and get out of it for a moment. Jackson just rolls it away. It'll fall back to Chowder.
Chowder over one though, couldn't get past that flash defenders. Louisiana's defense is giving them 2 so far. Their offense unable to connect with anything yet. It's Orion looking for goal 2 there, couldn't put it through, and Louisiana still going to be trailing at the end of the first 90 seconds.
Chowder, another good shot saved by Jackson, but Evan next in line will just end up lobbing it up. Juro misreads it. Orion had a lot of respect, thought he'd make the touch, and now again, the defense hesitating. Chowder going for a bump. Jackson steers into the corner, lost, has a good beat here. Can Jackson skim it? Wanted the pre-flip, ends up just lobbing it into the sidewall. Chowder, far side, Evan trying to reach it, and Air Force just doing a great job keeping Louisiana at bay. Juro, long shot here. Chowder looking to control it, a little bit dangerous, and Juro all over it.
257 lost. Finally gets the Raging Cajuns on the board, and took them just south of, or just north of 8 minutes there, Jonas, or 7 minutes to get on the score sheets. But I guess actually 8 minutes because they played overtime. So Louisiana back to level.
Yeah, I think the big thing there, that was just Chowder really trying to control the ball, even if it wasn't, you know, the best play. Wanted to keep that ball as closely possibly could, and such a difficult touch to make, trying to control it as you're flying back towards your own net, and got too heavy of a touch, and Juro was there to punish. But now another counter from Air Force. Chowder and Orion up front. The save will be made, the clear as well, and Jesse says there's only 2 brackets out of all the submissions that picked Air Force to win.
With 37 submissions, so that's again 35 brackets that would bust if they're not busted already here after round 1 tonight with Louisiana winning. But I know we've already had some bust because some people did pick Utah to beat North Texas, and I know we had the one bracket that picked Xavier and 2 brackets that picked Quinnipiac, so a couple have busted already. But Juro has gold 2 of the Raging Cajuns in the lead for the first time.
Yeah, just a big overextension here from Air Force. Juro doing a good job snapping the counterweight. Chowder, you got a piece of it, but from that angle, you're just not going to be able to get enough.
2:08 to play, and Louisiana back on top. We'll see if this lead can hold just north of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, we will indeed. Here's a good shot here, but it's saved early. Juro back into the corner. Shot from Evan will be dealt with well by Jackson, looking to get it over to Lost on the far side. Orion intercepts. Chowder leaves it for Evan. He's going to be the lead blocker. He finds the bump, but Jackson still snatches it away off the goal line. Now in transition, a good couple of touches up high. Chowder locks down another save. He has been spectacular on the defensive end for Air Force.
He's been a heck of a defender for Air Force all season. Keep getting into this tournament as well defensively. They've played a lot of series through their defense. They're not a team that scores a lot, so their defense has to play well if they're going to win. So they've gotten a good production, but now in the tournament, it's a whole new level playing field.
Really does. Orion, tough miss there. Juro goes top left. What a save from Evans, sweeping that one away off the crossbar and upper 90. Now we'll find another clear down to the corner. A little bit of a double there over Lost. Now huge flick out, looking for Chowder. He gets intercepted, but he's still on and finds another touch. Seeing Air Force really try and build that offense back up here late. Shot missing off the far post side, and now Orion. Still some boost left, but not enough. Juro will take it out.
40 seconds to go here in game number 2. Louisiana trying to level this series at 1-1 and send us to game 3 with a level tying score for this Louisiana win if they can hold out. But again, 30 seconds to go. If Air Force can find a way to score, a 2-0 lead in the series could be at hand for the Falcons.
Yeah, very well could. I mean, there's still a big chance here, and Evan trying to get that offense going again, gets a good 50 here, had the 1 goal in game number 1. Now will be cut down. Juro trying to force his way through Chowder. Evan dangerous, tough. It will be sent out again. Jackson on it, just trying to stall time, looking for Juro. Middle will connect with it. Evan keeps it alive back on the offensive side, but it will drop. Louisiana take game 2.
Raging Cajuns gonna level this series after a slow start, but you know, 3 of these 4 series, the lower seed has won game 2, and they've come back from the rough start. Bradford only one to not win game 2, but it's been quite the night, Jonas. I think that's an understatement. We've seen a couple of series that honestly, it's been very concerning going into round 2.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's been tough for some of these teams for sure.
I mean, you look at North Texas going to 7 with Utah. That's concerning going into the second round against either Arizona or LA Tech. Radford almost getting swept is very concerning going into round 2. And then finally Northeastern takes control of their series. They look poised in the second round, but again, a couple of high seeds have had scares. How does it affect you going into the next round of the tournament?
I mean, it's one of those things where I think it's, everyone's going to take note. I mean, both teams who make it forward are obviously going to have to realize that. I mean, we know that the majority of these teams are, maybe not watching the streams, but at least watching the results come through of those previous rounds. And, if you're a team like Arizona or Louisiana Tech and you're facing North Texas, who almost got knocked out by Utah, that's going to raise your confidence a little bit. North Texas, they're going to know that they need to lock back in and really not let it get that dangerous. And if you're, a team, who's like UConn or Rutgers, who's going to take on, Radford, that they almost got dropped by Quinnipiac, and you're going to know that Radford's obviously going to know that they struggled. It's just something that everyone's going to always keep in mind.
Yeah, but for me, I think when you go into that series, there's a chip on your shoulder, obviously, from not having the result you wanted in the last round, and now trying to carry it into the second round and playing a stronger opponent who is going to be able to take advantage more frequently than the team you played against in the first round. So that's kind of something to think about too. But back to this series, though, Louisiana, they've been one of the best teams in the country all season. Only losing to James Madison in conference play twice, and played them to Game 7 in the Sun Belt Championship game. And I think coming into that, they've got high expectations for how long they can fight in this bracket. But it's therefore tonight, that's not an easy out for Louisiana.
Yeah, they might have an opener here. No, big save from Orion. Ball from Juro into the crossbar, played away. Somehow, Air Force escaping without conceding there. And yeah, I mean, Louisiana, they really only lost to James Madison. They went 4-0 through non-conference. They were perfect throughout. It was only James Madison who was able to take them down so far this season. And, any other team who's going to be able to beat them would be, the second.
250. Playing the clock here in Louisiana. If they can get on the next round in the South region, be a 4-5 clash, it looks like, or a 13 seed if there is a chance of an upset. And we'll have to wait and see how the bracket plays out.
I mean, this bracket it's always fun to watch. It really is, and it's always interesting to see potential upsets. Obviously, haven't seen any yet. We've seen a couple get very, very close, but I think both of us, Nation, I think a lot of CCS fans watching, they're just waiting for that first one.
Yeah, I mean, that's are we. We're waiting for that first upset too. We've almost had it twice tonight so far to kick things off with Utah or Quinnipiac, and that one off so wide off the post. 2 minutes to go. Louisiana still even at 0.
Yeah, that one maybe should have been turned in, as it was a great look from Chowder. Now late reset used by Juro. Won't fall in. Orion. Good clear out. Juro taking it back to the far corner now. Evan chipped to the backboard, pass to himself, gets a great 50. Orion's 50 held out by Jackson. Somehow Louisiana not conceding. Juro snatches that one away from Chowder. Air Force right on the line, but can't break through.
Jackson now in isolation. Snapshot, no good. Evan off the save there. We'll put that one away for the Falcons. Still a 0-0 bout, and 2 of these games have been awfully close in regulation at 0-all.
They really have now. Lost clear, blocked well by Orion, just trying to keep that pressure on. Gets it out to Evan for a moment. Now Juro to Lost in transition. Might have a look. Evan's got no boost to work with. Juro's there. Top left it goes. The Louisiana have a lead.
1:14 to play. Juro able to find Lost in transition and gets it back from Lost as well, and to put away the open target. 1:14, the Raging Cajuns lead.
And Air Force really trying to settle back in, get that offense to just finally break through, but obviously easier said than done. They're 0 for 5 right now. Louisiana have just had that majority pressure throughout this third game, and we'll see if that changes. We saw Air Force obviously have some good looks early on, and we know that they can compete. We'll have to see.
50 seconds left to go. Air Force need to score to get this game back to level, or Louisiana can take their first lead of the night. Here is Jackson trying to bob and weave there. Rebound for Loft, also wide. All three commit. Now back for Juro, one-on-one. Whip reset. Got the ground pitch, but it's no good. Evan will hold it off.
Bit of a team up here between Lost and Jackson. Will deal just fine. A good 50 from Jackson. Orion's in a tough spot now. Jackson plays it low. Will be sent well to the corner by Orion, just trying to 50 his way out. Juro plays the 50. Evan feeds it back into the offensive side. Quick turnaround for Louisiana. Jackson, big musty flick, trying to hold on. And ultimately, Louisiana just trying to keep the pressure going for the final 5 seconds. They're going to add on one more. Looks like that'll be the nail in the coffin for game 3.
4 seconds on the clock here remaining. Louisiana going to lock in game number 3 as the Raging Cajuns will have a 2-1 series lead after 3.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, we've seen Air Force staying close in it, but it's just been Louisiana who's been that one little step ahead, and Air Force are right behind them, but it's just that one concede, they give up one, they might not put away one, and then that's what grows a lead. I mean, it's just that little bit of a difference. Obviously, you can see in the shot count, Louisiana did have that majority of the pressure, 13 shots compared to the 5 from Air Force, and you know, Air Force, that's another big shutout there.
It is. You know, it's 2 games now where your offense hasn't quite gotten the production you're looking for in the tournament, where you can't really afford to have bad games, or else your season could flash before your eyes.
Yeah, and it's already kind of looking that way for Air Force. Again, it's only a 1-game differential right now, but Louisiana now have taken back-to-back, and Air Force, they can't let it get to that 3-1.
They cannot at all afford to let it get to that 3-1 advantage. Schauder now trying to start something special here. There's the first.
And that's just an early opening here. I think the defense from Louisiana kind of let their guard down. It was a great shot from Schauder, but you can see that Losty backflip there. I think if he had the front flip, he had to save no problem. But anyways, that'll give Air Force the first one within 6.
Great start to game 4 for the Falcons, but again, they got to be able to handle the pressure of Louisiana. They haven't quite done that well the last 10 minutes of this series, but again, you get a good start offensively, but now your defense has to hold the line.
Ryan, good touch around here. That's a big double from Chowder. Evans there through the smoke. Lost still picks up a huge save there. The defense in a tough spot for Louisiana. Low boost. They're getting pressed back. Evan, he's got another look. Low bouncer saved by Jackson. Juro plays it away from Chowder. Orion just trying to tap it on target. The defense still holding with low boost. Evan gonna be the next one to turn on it. Top shelf. Juro rips it away off the cross for Orion. Next in line. Goes middle looking for Chowder. He hesitates. Gets the pop into the corner. But now Louisiana find themselves with boost. Now looking for the transition.
Good 50 there for Juro. 1 minute already off the clock. Nice redirect as well. Gonna put it back in Falcon territory here. And now Louisiana plenty of time to recollect some boost and make their next offensive push here. Lost off the right wall. Couldn't get back to that one. This one set for Juro. And it's kind of been going back and forth on us here in game 4.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's been going back and forth, you know, from the majority of this series. As you know, we've seen, you know, both these teams work themselves into leads, but it's stayed close. It really has, and it doesn't feel like one team is completely dominant. Obviously, we did see Air Force get shut out 2-0, but it still felt extremely close, and it felt like at any moment those 2 goals could come sailing through quite quickly as Louisiana just giving each other a couple kisses. Juro trying to do the same to Evan, but a nice save on the goal line to sweep it away.
Lost off the ceiling, trying to get a pass out in front. He did, but Juro not ready for that one in time. And now 2 minutes off the clock. Juro looking for a one-on-one. Isolation of 50, just wide off the post and no good.
Follow from Lost will be good. Top left he goes, and that's a good one to take advantage of. Juro had a huge 50 there. Evan got a nice touch in the backboard to escape for a moment, but Lost drops it right back down. We're tied at 1.
Tied at 1, 3:01 to play. And the Raging Cajuns able to re-equalize that goal from 6 seconds into game 4, where Air Force got a kickoff goal. Now you're back to level again. The Cajuns offense looking to continue that pressure.
Juro trying to keep that momentum going, but ultimately we need to see how Air Force are able to respond. They want to, of course, get that lead back as quickly as possible, get back in that driver's seat. Do not want to let Louisiana keep on adding momentum, but a couple good 50s. They get back on the offensive side. Orion, big clear ahead, will send it way down towards the corner. Lost gets past one. Chowder, again, soft touch, looking to control that momentum. Gets a slight bump on Juro. Evan wasn't respecting the touch. Orion into the backboard. May have another look. Instead, it goes wide into the corner.
2:15 to go. That shot is no good. Chowder will hold that one off for now. Game 4 still continuing in the Roseville 1-1 score line. Jackson, I don't get back to that one in time as well. Louisiana still looking for their second goal. Air Force's defense is broken to shreds there, but nothing for Louisiana. They took a couple of mistakes offensively.
And now they might have a look here to be shut down there well by Jackson. Chowder, another good 50. Juro already up for it. And again, I mean, these teams seem very evenly matched, Nation. They really do. I mean, you wouldn't expect this to be a 5-12 matchup. I mean, both these teams look to have a ton of respect for each other. They're both trying to play safe, still time up those challenges well. Both defenses are working great. This is much more of a close series.
Absolutely agreed. I think this is probably the best series that we could watch tonight. And said earlier, the two best games are the front and the back with UNC Utah and Arizona State UCLA. But this middle game really could deliver something special here and actually could be a good watch. And it's been a good watch. Hasn't been a lot of mistakes, and it's been, deserving wins. A Chowder, a huge give and go from Evan.
Yeah, that's a great one to take advantage of. Orion up to Evan, got the midfield pass down, and Chowder all over. You can see Lost did his best to try and find something, and Juro on the goal line. I mean, nothing you can do from point-blank range there.
1:09 to go. Air Force trying to equalize with Louisiana once more in this best of 7. They're a minute away from doing just that. But Louisiana, though, still a dog left in the fight.
Absolutely. I mean, this one doesn't seem set in stone by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, only a one-game series right now, and only a one-goal game here in game number 4. It could turn around. Jackson gets a big demo. Juro taking a lot of time. He gets it out to Jackson. Will there be a defender in time? No. Jackson puts it away. It's 2-2.
39 seconds. Jackson, he's been the superstar in the postseason for the Raging Cajuns in the past. He's delivering a moment here in the tournament.
That's a great one to take advantage of off the long pass from Juro. Just quickly that demo into a lot of open space is a great way to counter. Now Evan trying to get Air Force back on the board. Lost. We'll secure it back out towards the side. Well, ultimately this Louisiana defense just looking to stay well in tow. Air Force looking to find something late in regulation or maybe just another overtime victory.
18 seconds to go. And it's now Louisiana just trying to drop this one through the uprights as Orion starts the counter here for Jackson. It's broken away by Jackson as well defensively, and overtime might just happen again here.
This is a little bit dangerous for Juro. Will be able to pick up the save. Now 50 well by Orion. We'll see if Jackson leaves it. That he will. Another overtime. Of course, the last OT we saw was won well by Air Force. Just 13 seconds in, we saw Evan take advantage, and now still a lot of good pressure here, but we'll see if Louisiana get a big victory here.
Overtime, Air Force won it last time. We'll see if Louisiana can right their wrongs from earlier and put this series on ice with a 3-1 lead, or if Air Force can guarantee us a Game 6 and get this series level up too.
It's a lot of dangerous pressure here. The double commit's coming through, and Jackson is the one who finds the game winner. A lot of pressure there. Saw a lot of hesitation out of Air Force on the defensive side, and then back-to-back double commits will open things up. Louisiana, they win the second OT of the series, and now they're up 3-1. They're already on match point.
Again, it reminds me similar of the Xavier Northeastern series. Northeastern, rocky start. Xavier took control in game 1. That's exactly what Air Force did. And Air Force had a couple of close scenarios like Xavier did, but Louisiana's always one step ahead, and it's shown prowess and poise tonight out of this roster. And again, they could go very well far in this tournament.
Yeah, also just game 1 overtime won by the lower seed, and then the next 3 won by the high seed. I mean, the big difference I think here is I don't think Louisiana are going to beat Air Force 9-1 in this next game. I think it's going to be much closer than that, as Air Force have. I mean, they've kept it extremely narrow throughout this whole series. They kept it a little bit closer than Xavier did, and they've still just been that half step behind. They've been right up in pace with Louisiana, but just not quite able to catch up and take another game.
Game 5. A win away for Louisiana, punching their ticket to the second round of the CCS Season 5 Championships. Looking to go back to the second round like they were last season. We'll see if they can get back to that second round and go beyond that, because remember, they did lose last season in round 2, so they're going to try to get a little bit further this time around.
Ryan trying to keep things going. I mean, would this be the longest run for either team in the tournament? Well,
Louisiana got to round 2 last time, so no.
Yeah, both teams got to round 2. Actually, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Air Force played Akron. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so round 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So both teams won their first. I mean, I guess both these teams looking for their first round 2 victory, and only one will get the chance.
Yeah, but it's going to be against a team ranked higher than them, no matter who the outcome of this series is. It'll either be a 4 seed or it could be a 13 seed if there's some magic. As Evan Little high, the rebound not there in time. Drew will clear that one away. The first 60 seconds gone. Air Force feels like they should have a lead right now.
Yeah, that was a tough one to miss. Now the Raging Cajun storming back the other way. Lost, no boost. Still trying to get a touch over to Jackson. He does. Jackson outright misses, and that's going to be a big miss there as it gives Air Force a little bit of room. Drew right back up to it into the ceiling. Evan finds the clear out. Jackson's there. Orion just settling on the goal line. That's a big miss for Chow. The defense still holding for Air Force, but you can see the panic here in Game 5.
That you can, is 90 seconds off the clock, and Air Force knows that this is it right here. Jonas Chowder finds goal 1.
I mean, just able to take advantage of the awkwardness here. Orion playing that 50 well. You can see Jackson, instead of trying to keep that ball low, tried to pop it up and take it away, and Chowder was all over it for the Falcons. They're up 1-0.
3:20 and some change to play in Game 5 as Jackson trying to drop this one down and under. Couldn't find a teammate, though, in transition here. But now, if you're Louisiana, and you've played behind a majority of this series, but you've came back in late efforts to win these games, I don't think you panic at all right now if you're the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, no, I think Louisiana, they're going to stay pretty content. They're going to stay pretty controlled. I don't think they're going to panic by any means. Even if they end up dropping this game, I think they're still going to be confident that they can take it with 2 chances left. But I think the biggest thing is they don't want to give Air Force that little extra boost. That's a great shot from Chowder, and every goal, every game put away, that's another little bit of a momentum boost for your opponent, and obviously that makes it so the comeback is more and more doable. And if you're Louisiana, you're gonna feel content that you can end it, but you want to have the highest chance of ending it.
Absolutely. Now a chance for Jackson, a one-timer, couldn't get it to go, and Orion launching on an open target. It's going to sail right on through.
Yeah, Louisiana, that's a missed chance there as Jackson missed. And you can see Jiro, a bit of it. He didn't go for the 50. You can see he just kind of went for a shot. And Orion more than happy just to block it straight up front. Flies all the way downfield and in. Air Force up 2-0. Louisiana, this is going to be tough to come back from with 2:19 left.
Absolutely agreeing. At this point, in the series, Air Force, they can hold on tight here to a win in Game 5. You get to Game 6, and momentum can start to swing away for Air Force as Evans got a third.
And that is a beauty of a third goal for the Falcons. Orion lobbed it up well. This might have caught a piece of Lost. It did, but still perfectly top left.
2:08 to go, and up next, Drexel, number 1 versus 16-seeded St. Thomas at 11 Eastern after the conclusion of this one. As they're in for a long night, still 2 more games to go afterwards.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that matchup goes. Do you think we see the Scarabs?
Oh, absolutely. Barrington
just
chat, he
they're
can
on-
hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell me. But Jackson downfield trying to keep things going, but Air Force have looked great in this game. I think this is their biggest lead. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely, it is a double, no good. A rebound is there, but it's wide.
I don't know how that's still not a goal for the Raging Cajuns, but it is not. The Louisiana still trying to find their first of the game, but it'll be knocked out by Air Force, and Jackson taking the mind game back into his own corner. Him and Lost both going. Juro now on it, has a little bit of open space, plays the 50. Evan low boost, still gets the safe touch around, and Air Force with this 3-goal lead, you can see how confident they're playing.
Yeah, 1 minute to go. I don't think there's any really world of a possibility where, okay, wait, hold on. There's one for loss, 57 seconds. Now this game becomes still very much doable.
Yeah, don't call it yet. That was a tough touch from Orion, and Jiro got it up to Lost. Chowder was being pressured down by Jackson, and it made that save even more tough. And now 1-3 goes the scoreline. Louisiana still in it, but they still need to speed up and look more efficient on the offensive end.
Chowder taking his time, fakes out to the open net is no good though. So still within 2 is the Raging Cajuns. This night still far from over, as Louisiana has a couple lives still yet left to give.
Yeah, it was a great mind game from Chowder. Unfortunately, couldn't quite regain control. Now Jackson finds the clear. Did see Evan dive in. Maybe a quick turnaround for the Raging Cajuns now. Chowder will just take control again, trying to clear this one away. That he does, trades his life for it as Juro will go up, blocked by Evan. Lost is forced to turn around and go all the way back, and the Falcons doing a great job holding on to this lead, not giving Louisiana any extra opportunities. Orion looking for 4th, he'll find it. Air Force have done enough. They're going to take this one to 6.
11 seconds in Game 6, this is where things start to get a little scary. For these lower seeds trying to avoid upsets, or Game 6 is really where momentum can swing.
Yeah, we very well could see Air Force keep up this momentum again. This is their best win that they've been able to find. They found the OT win in game number 1, and now they're going to find themselves a solid 3-goal deficit victory here in game number 5. And, you know, that's huge. Not only the win to obviously just keep your season alive, but a pretty dominant win at that, and being able to really show that you are here to fight even on when you're down on match point, still fighting in it. Louisiana will pick up one more, but I don't think Air Force mind too much.
Not at all, but now you get to go to Game 6, you get that second game, established in this series, and now you give yourself a chance to get to Game 7, and, everybody knows anything can happen there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that be the clear-cut case of tonight so far, as we have seen some incredibly crazy matches so far. And, if this one ended up going the distance, wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that being said, I'm excited to see if Air Force are able to keep it up. I think this one going to 7 could get really interesting for either side. It'd be really fun to see how it play out on Champions Field. But first, Neo Tokyo Game 6, Air Force just looking to keep their season alive.
15 shots to 10, gonna favor the Falcons of Air Force in Game 5. Now Game 6, we'll see if the Falcons can extend their season 5 minutes more. We're underway, a kickoff goal, it's in hand.
Just 2 seconds gone, and that is all it takes to put up one. And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. A very hard cheat up from Jackson, rolls perfectly into his favorite. Chowder turned a little bit too far upfield, could not reach it, and that's a great start if you're a Louisiana fan.
I think Air Force has to hate this map on stream. They've lost on it what feels like every dang time they've played it. Neo Tokyo on the main broadcast. They just, for whatever reason, can never either close the series out in Game 6 or can't get it to Game 7. So we'll see if maybe they can break the curse here tonight.
Yeah, we will indeed. And Louisiana, they got to be feeling pretty solid at this point. Obviously, getting that first goal, we always talk about how advantageous it can be, especially after a loss, being able to kind of get that momentum right back in your favor, get that one little lead that you need to try and hold things out. We'll see if it does indeed help out the Raging Cajuns here, as they are getting pressured well by Air Force. Lost takes the 50. Chowder still in on it, looking to go middle. Ryan's there lurking. That's a great pass. That Ryan can't put it on target. Lost will swerve around, try and escape, gets the flick over one, trying to stay on it, but he's demoed.
Yeah, when the winner would play Wichita State or Central Florida in the 4-13 round 2 matchup, and who knows what can happen. Maybe UCF has one more stunning win out in their tanks, or Wichita State, Louisiana. But it's just concerning for Louisiana to go to Game 6 of the Air Force, or maybe even 7 here.
I wouldn't necessarily say so. Maybe a little bit now. Maybe a little bit now as Orion will quickly tie it up here at 3:46 left as Chowder got a great beat there, and then Orion outspeeding Juro as well. I mean, Air Force is a solid team. You know, they play against obviously San Diego State in their conference a ton, and that's a really dangerous team. Washington State has seemed to have got them figured out over the last couple seasons as well, and you know, they're obviously still a very solid competitor. They always seem to be here to fight, and you know, they have struggled against those higher teams. You know, looking back into the tournaments, you know, they've struggled there, but they show that they can compete in Chowder. What a touch here, the double off the left post side to make it 2-1.
Chowder gonna find a go-ahead for the Falcons. 3:29 to go. A quick double off the right post, and it's good for goal number 2.
And just trying to keep things going. I mean, we saw the two seconds in Louisiana pick up one, but now the Falcons immediately respond well. Lost, forcing to make a save there. A little bit awkward here with Jackson. Juro will flick this one away. Orion skies it. Jackson just looking to put something on target. Chowder will pick up the save. A little bit more dangerous than he may have hoped. Juro absolutely slams this one back across the field. There's no one close to his second for the Raging Cajuns. They'll just fall back onto defense.
3 minutes to go. Louisiana trying to catch up Chowder. Couldn't make that one to fall their way. There was Chowder. Plenty of boost to get back to it and extend it to midfield. But, you know, Jordan, for me, what are you looking for? And this just is, in my eyes, you know, you're looking for obviously Juro and Jackson to go and play a big role offensively for Louisiana. But, you know, they haven't quite gotten any high-end production out of Juro like we saw in the Sun Belt tournament. He's just kind of been average. And you can't play average in the CCS championships and expect to go far.
Yeah, that you need to be playing your best Rocket League, and I mean, it's one of those things we saw Louisiana. You know, I mentioned at the very beginning when we were doing our short pregame for this matchup. It's why I have so much faith in Louisiana. It's because they look to play some of their best Rocket League in that conference championship. Against James Madison. They were really there and now lost a wide open look. Had low boost, but absolutely whiffs it. And now that's a big chance gone by the wayside. Louisiana, they haven't looked like the same team offensively. They've still been obviously able to take 3 games. They're still looking to find that 4th, but this wasn't the same dominant offensive team we saw against JMU.
Not at all. I agree. I think, you know, defensively, they're still really good, but offensively, again, I talked about it earlier, they're not getting the same production they're used to having with Juro and Jackson playing bigger roles, but lost now in isolation with Orion to 50. Good, 2-all.
Yeah, Lost just taking this one himself. That's a big double commit between Evan and Chowder, and it just opened up so much room, and Lost didn't need to do anything too special, just line up the Fennec well and play the 50.
135 to play here in regulation as Louisiana get a big goal to keep their season away from jeopardy in Game 7 as Chowder and Air Force now. Does it start to feel like it might be over here soon?
I mean, it might. I could see Air Force still easily taking this one to 7. I could see the offense still, you know, making a couple mistakes for Louisiana and Air Force being able to capitalize on a transition, but you know, there's some good looks here, and Jackson off the backboard. Orion will be able to clear it out. Demos traded between Jackson and Evan. Lost. Going for that mid boost, losing it now. Maybe a turnaround here for the Falcons. Jackson clears it away for a moment. Evan there. Big shot, top right, just missing.
Juro launching downfield, has no boost. They're going to try to wave dash on the wall to get there. Couldn't quite chase it down. That was Jackson. Next in line to the challenge. Chowder back to midfield, met by Lost to 51 to the red corner, and Jonas, this is going to come down to probably overtime again for a 3rd time in this series.
Yeah, it very well might, and unless someone's able to find something in 30 seconds, which is very doable. But I mean, both these teams have looked so locked here. That's a good save from Lost to be able to keep that one out. Jackson used all his boost to find the clear upfield. Juro there, shot on target. Evan needs to make the stop. He's there. Lost will be next in line for the Raging Cajuns. Gets through 1, but Chowder has the big clear out. 15 now. Another big turnaround. Jackson wants that sidewall double. Just narrowly misses the read, and Orion trying to sweep this one clear. Big challenge off target. Final 5. Maybe a look here for Jackson. He's got the open look. It's far down.
Louisiana Jackson have put it away. Potentially 3 seconds to go. Now Air Force gonna need a miracle.
They got 3 seconds. They need some sort of kickoff strat here. They need something to go their way. We'll see if they go for a fake, maybe just a hard cheat win, and it looks like they will play the hard cheat, but Jackson a massive 50 back the other way. Orion, what a touch to keep it alive, looking far side. Jackson snipes it down. Louisiana staying in it. They eliminate Air Force.
Louisiana gonna move on to next Friday's round of 32. They're gonna play either Wichita State or Central Florida.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big victory for Louisiana there. I would expect them to go toe-to-toe with Wichita State next week. But, I mean, ultimately, a great matchup there. Air Force, as a 12 seed, they kept it incredibly competitive. I think they could have taken that one to 7, just a couple tough goals to give up, and Louisiana able to stay out in front. But overall, a great matchup versus the 5 and 12 seed.
Well, we're going to go to a much-needed break, as we have had no break tonight so far. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll see you guys for number 1 Drexel and 16 seed St. Thomas.